How's it going, everyone? It is Andre Williams, and over here we talk stocks and we focus on one thing. Always protect your profits. And today we're going to be talking about PROG stock. It ended up seeing a big time high on the day. But one thing I want to be aware of, yes, we did pull back, but there's still a lot of demand for shares. And we're going to talk about it inside of this video. I won't waste any more time. Let's jump into the agenda. If you're new to this channel, I just want to let you know we have timestamps down below inside the description. But if you're a shareholder or you're thinking about taking a position, I highly suggest you watch this full entire video. So the first thing we're going to go over is the technical analysis. We're going to take a look at the overall price action. We want to know support. We want to know resistance. We want to know what it looks like in a bearish case scenario and as well as in a bullish case scenario, but I still remain bullish on this play. Just want to make sure I add that in there. And then afterwards, we're going to take a look on Fintel at the short interest information. We want to see, does PROG continue to have short squeeze potential? Are shorts increasing their positions? What is the overall market sentiment? We're going to figure that all out. And then we're going to take a look at the order flow distribution. We want to know what the buying and the selling behavior was like on the retail side and as well as on the institutional side. And then when all of that is done, we'll be going into the final thoughts and as well as going over some more details. So let's get to it. So we're going to be doing a technical analysis for PROG. Let's see how it performed on the day. So it ended up closing at $3.75, being down 6.02%. On the low, it tested $3.61, and then on the high, testing $4.43. When we take a look at the volume stats on the day, you can see we traded at 119.464 million shares, and for the average volume over 10 trading days being at 163.117 million shares. So one thing that you could see, we did have below average volume on the day, but keep in mind it was pretty volatile with a strong sell-off inside of the market, and we still ended up seeing a high of the day of $4.43. Now when we take a look at our chart, which is a 1-year daily chart, you can see from the RSI down below it is right around 73.30. So we're still in that overbought territory. And then when we take a look at the moving averages on our chart, we have strength above the 50-day, the 100-day, the 21-day EMA, and as well as the 200-day. So we are looking very, very bullish here. So one thing I want to bring to your attention first, we are seeing increasing levels of support. Let's start from the beginning. We were here at 90, had support, built up all the way over here to around $1.30, right here around $2. You can see again right here around $2.50, right here at $3, and as you can see clearly here we have some strength above the $3.50 level. So what I want to see, we did close at $3.75 and we ended up seeing a high of $4.43, which we've never seen in quite a while. So I'd want to see actually PROG get to the $4.50 level. Of course we're going to have an area of resistance here at $4.43, but I think $4.50 is very doable, especially if we have strong markets and the volume is there inside of the play. Another thing that I want to bring to your attention, I want to see $3.75 hold up going into the open for tomorrow. If we end up getting that, that's why I want to see PROG get to the $4.50 level and then seeing where it could go from there. As far as for the $3.50 level, this will be very interesting because even if we do pull back, I wouldn't be looking for this because I want to see strength. We tested 361. So knowing that we tested 361, we want to see an increase of 375. But as far as the most bearish case scenario, if it's a strong pullback, I want us to see us hold up 350. So let's see how it performs going into tomorrow. So we're going to take a look at the short interest information for PROG. So we can see for the dark pool short volume ratio, it's at 51.40. And then for the dark pool short volume being just over 65.3 million shares. As we scroll down further on the page, the short shares availability is at 250,000, updated 23 minutes ago, and the short borrow free rate is at 107.38%. Now, when we take a look at the history of the short volume ratio, we could see for the close of the 25th, it was at 52.08, and then for the close yesterday being at 51.40. 0.40. So PROG does continue to have short squeeze potential, and it's part of the reasons why I say you want to keep this play on your watch list and make sure you have the right strategy in regards to maximizing your entries. So now let's jump into the order flow distribution. Now let's take a look at the order flow distribution for PROG. So we can see here on the inflow it was 93.53, and then on the outflow is 97.98. When we take a look at the breakdown on the large, we saw 1.59. This is the inflow side, and then on the medium it was 57.61, and then on the small it was 34.33. Keep in mind this is in the millions. When we take a look at the outflow side on the large, it was 1.73, and on the medium it was 63.73, and then on the small it was 32.52. When we take a look at the large scale orders in the last 5 days, you can see for today, October the 27th, it being that outflow negative of 139.05. Not too big of a difference whatsoever. So what we could see here from the breakdown, there was a lot more buying than selling on the retail side, which is good to see. It tells us there's a lot of demand, but there was some profit taking, no surprise. And then when we take a look at what was happening on the medium, we had a lot more selling that was going on. So that is good to see, because we want to know what does it look like as far as it going to, no. And then on the medium, we had a lot more selling going on than buying, but we still had demand in regards to inflows. And then when we take a look at the large, it was fairly close, but again, we had more selling that was happening with large scale orders, which could be institutions. So now when we take a look at the turnover ratio to give you guys an idea of how liquid this stock is, the turnover was at 83.48%. So that wasn't too bad whatsoever, but there is a lot of day traders going in and out of this play. So that's one thing that you want to know and be aware of, and it's why you want to make sure you are maximizing your overall entries, and why you don't need to be riding the elevator if you do your homework and you do your due diligence. So now let's jump into the final thoughts, and we'll go over some more details as well. So for my final thoughts for PROG, we know that we want to see this stock get to $4.50 and then see where it can go from there, because I feel it can gain a lot of momentum, but we have to make sure that we have a lot of volume. There needs to be clear demand for this play, but of course we have been seeing that. Even when we go on Fintel, taking a look at the short interest information, it still continues to have short squeeze potential, and when we look at the borrow fees, it is fairly high, and that's part of the reasons why there's a lot of volatility. So when we ended up seeing resistance at $4.43 on the day, this is an area you're going to want to keep an eye on going into tomorrow, and like I said, make that move to $4.50 and see where we go. As far as where I want to see from support on the day, we ended up getting as low to the $3.60 range. This is a really good area for PROG. Not too surprised due to the fact we did have a strong market sell-off. So of course, many were able to take advantage of that dip, and the last time that I checked, it is running up in after hours at around $3.89. So again, keep this play on your radar, and just make sure when it comes to your entries, you don't need to be buying when it's at the $4 level. Wait for that pullback, wait for that dip. I want to make sure I really emphasize this. You don't need to FOMO into this play whatsoever, but also make sure that this is not financial advice whatsoever. I just want to give you guys an overview and some information that you can do alongside with your homework and as well as your due diligence, so you can maximize your profits inside of this play. And if you do decide to buy and hold as well, again, just make sure that you're doing your homework. I want to emphasize that. Just don't follow anyone blindly that you see on social media and so forth, because at the end of the day, I want to make sure you're protecting your profits and you're seeing your money grow inside of the stock market. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and we'll be talking real soon.